أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه ومن والاه وبعد. We continue with our sessions of Tafseer, analytical Tafseer of the Quran, and we are with Surah Al-Ma'idah, Surah number 5, and we are with Ayah number 4. Ayah number 4. After Allah Azza wa Jal emphasized to the believers on the importance of fulfilling agreements and contracts. يا الذين آمنوا أوفوا بالعقود is the first ayah of the surah. And always the first ayah of the surah sets the stage. I want you to understand that. Sometimes you can figure it out, sometimes it is a little bit hidden. You're going to exert some effort until you find out, but always the beginning of the surah, it kind of sets the stage to the subject matter, and the end of the surah, it always seals the deal, yani, right? Or opens it to for another surah to take it from there. So Surah Al-Baqarah, for example, starts with ذَلِكَ الْكِتَابُ لَا رَيْبَ فِيهِ هُدًى. So everything coming is what? Guidance. And the guidance leads you to Allah, leads you to reward in Akhirah. Then you know, that's why the seeking the forgiveness, رَبَّنَا لَا تُؤَخِذْنَا إِن نَسِينَا وَأَخْطَأْنَا, right? At the end, because this is applications, correct? All of the Surah Al-Baqarah, which is Hidayah, as it says the stage, then all of these ahkam, all of this the ruling, all of the talk about the people of the book, all of that, sometimes we will misunderstand, sometimes we will miscommunicate, sometimes we will apply wrongly. That's why we ended the surah with رَبَّنَا لَا تُؤَخِذْنَا إِن نَسِينَا وَأَخْطَأْنَا رَبَّنَا تَحْمِلْ عَلَيْنَا إِصْرًا to the end of the surah, right? Surah Al-Imran also starts with mentioning of the Quran and the Torah and the Injil. Then it talks to the people of the book, right? Those who deviated and all of that. That's why at the end of the surah, the dua of those salihin who wants Allah Azza wa Jalla, Allah will give them thawab. Then Allah ends it with the people of the book who converted to Islam and they became good. And then Allah give the Muslimin the sabr and the order of the sabr and all. So always the beginning of the surah, that's what I'm trying to say. And Surah Al-Nisa starts with taqwa because, you know, the rules of the family, the rules of the inheritance, the rules of husband and wife will only need taqwa to be applied. It does not need the paper and a pen. حق وحقق, my right, your right, your duty, my duty, it will never work. You know, any transactions has to have some rahmah in it, some mercy. That's why Rasul صلى الله عليه وسلم said رحم الله رجلا سمحا إذا باع سمحا إذا اشترى سمحا إذا اقتضى. May Allah have mercy on a person who is very nice, easy manner when they are selling, when they are buying, when they are asking for the debt back. It is not only pure transaction mechanical. That's what this culture is about. Not America, يعني culture of the world now, the globalization. It's a culture of transactions only, away from any emotions. Any emotions. A man would fire someone who's hardworking and all of that in a heartbeat with a cold face without any regrets. I know it's a job and everything, but there is no emotions. Like, you know, you're cutting down all the lower people for the bigger ones to take bonuses. Where is the fairness in this? Right? So it's kind of like no emotions. You know, like you find a person hard working, but they're afraid they can lose everything in a second. Their heart is not there because they're scared. So it is, life is for the fittest, as they say. But that's not Islamic concept. Life is not for the fittest. Life is for everyone Allah created. And the fittest take care of the non-fit. The old is taken care of by the young. We do not live in this jungle thing, you know. Even in jungle, subhanallah, the beasts, after they fall, they do not go and they kill another animal unless they are hungry. They do not take extra. They don't have fridges. We are the ones who have fridge. You know the concept of fridge? That's a concept, you know, to store things. Pantry, fridge, this is a concept that never existed before, you know, like, yeah. So you eat, you have what you eat and all that, but this is coming from the selfishness, individualization of culture and all of that. So the Quran is taking us back to the fitrah. Okay, so telling us أوفوا بالعقود, أوفوا بالعقود, يعني fulfill your contracts. والوفاء or إيفاء, يعني means fulfillment of the contract. There is some sense here of spirituality. Where is it? From the first word, يا أيها الذين آمنوا. Whom Allah is talking to? آمنوا, the iman. He's hitting on your iman, right? Reminding you who you are. يا أيها الذين آمنوا أوفوا بالعقود. يا أيها الناس اتقوا الله. Taqwa of Allah. Then he tells you what to do after that. So it gives you that everything has a spiritual aspect in it. It's not mechanical. Even with the business transactions. Surah Al-Ma'idah starts like that. It's full of ahkam, and its ahkam are the latest ahkam. So always when it conflicts with anything else, we take what is in Surah Al-Ma'idah. So after the beginning of the surah, Allah mentioned to us the haram meat for consumption, or haram examples, or the main haram food for consumption, like the blood, like the dead animal, like the animal which was hit by another animal, the animal that fell down, the animal was hit by something like a bullet or a piece of iron or steel or anything like that, and it died before having a chance to be slaughtered. If all of those have a chance to be slaughtered, then it becomes halal, except pig, of course. Yani the meat or the flesh of the swine, whether you slaughter it properly or not properly, that is haram for itself. There are things that it is haram لذاته, يعني haram because itself, or it is haram for a reason. يعني liquor is haram because it is a liquor. The pig is haram because it is what? A pig, right? يعني liquor is haram because fermentation, it is the state of it. But before it is a liquor, it's halal, right? After it is a liquor, if it becomes a vinegar, it becomes halal again. But in the middle is haram. Okay? So that is the process. Now pig is haram no matter what you do. So يعني it's clean or not clean. It is raised domestic or wild. It is this or that. Pig is a pig at the end of the day. So haram لذاته. Haram لغيره, يعني if you're selling a knife to somebody who is, you know that they're going to murder someone. Give me a knife so I can go kill that guy. You give them a knife, that knife is haram now. And you giving them the knife is haram. You become responsible as well. So this is haram because of a reason. Also, sometimes the transaction is haram. Like you buying a car. Buying a car is halal, but taking a loan to buy a car is haram. So the transaction is haram. Like taking a loan to buy a car with interest, that's haram. Yeah, third party interfering is not right. Khalas, that's end of story. It's either you do in-house financing or you deal with the person straight, like zero interest. You know, you tell them to make the calculations and write for you a contract. It can be done. And if you go to the dealership and tell them that I don't want interest in my contract, right? So you do everything, and then the financial institution like Honda Financial or Infinity Financial or Lexus Financial, whatever that the company is, as long as you don't have this point, APR zero, and not zero interest. But if a bank comes in, give you the money, give them the money, then take it back from you with interest, that's not right, because now he's selling you the money. If he purchased the car and then sell it to you, that's another problem. No issues. Like if you want a car, you don't have the money. They have the car, they want the money. I have the money, I don't want the car. You see how it works? Mm-hmm. So you want the car, I have the money, they need the money. Okay? Mm-hmm. So now it's not between you and them anymore. Okay? So now what do? I am selling you the money. So money is my product. Now if I go and tell the dealer, okay, Mr. Dealer, she needs the car, right? How much is this car? 40,000. Here is 40,000. Give me the car. I sell it to you for 50, that's all right. Okay? That's fine. That's actually now because you can say, you know what, I changed my mind. I need to sell the car to someone else. That's okay. Because the car is mine now, even for 5 minutes. But the car is what? Mine now, and you have option to back off. Because now instead of buying from them, you're buying from me. So that's okay, right? Or I can tell you, you pay cash, you pay 40. You pay it in 5 years, you pay 50. You pay it in 10 years, you pay 60. That's okay too?
That's not interest.
No, that's not. But I cannot write the options in the contract. You have to choose first, then I write what you chose. So you say, I'm going to choose it in 5 years. Okay, then we write a contract according to that. You agree to purchase it with 50. I'm not going to say, if she pays within 5 years, this is how much. If she delays, this is how much. That's haram now. That's interest. You know what? I cannot give the options in the contract. You have to abide by the contract. Then we can say, yes, if you fail to pay what I do, that's fine too. I'll take the car, I'll give you this, I'll give you option this, I will auction the car. You know, we can agree on these things. But Islam does not want someone to use the money because they have money. Then we'll make someone always in debt and someone always in surplus. That's the riba concept. People do not understand why. People think that, what's the problem? Because you're only seeing the transaction. But Islam is seeing the economy of a community. I have money, I will stay always having money. You don't have money, you will always stay in debt. Isn't that the case here now? Credit cards? Everybody has a credit card debt. Why? Because everybody would purchase with money that they don't have. So somebody have the money, but he does not want the product. You want the product, but you do not have the money. And instead of you working according to your ability, this third party want to sell no matter what. You are poor or rich, they want to dump it on you. Okay, so they are teaching people bad habits, to have things that we do not need. Look at any one of us. I can guarantee you 50% of the items in our lives we do not need. And I'm not exaggerating.
Yes.
If there's not more than 50.
50.
I'm not saying we want. No, we want it all. But I'm saying, do you need it or not? Do I need those 2 lamps in the side? No, I don't.
Do you?
We don't. Do I want them? Yeah, I want decoration. I want more. I want this fan, not that fan. I want this. I want that. I want an iPad. I don't. So I have iPad and iPhone. Yeah, all this is things I want, but not necessarily I need. Why? Because there is an economic system that telling me I can have it. If it tells me that I cannot have it, then I will not have it. I'll work hard. If I really want this, I will go double my work hours. That means production more in the community, right? That means only those who work hard, they get paid more. You see? And when they get paid more, they can have more things. And when you get paid more and you are tired, you are not gonna get the things except what you need. Because this money came hard. Yes. And this is the whole system. Now you understand why riba is haram? Because of that. Because if everybody giving 0 interest, so what is the benefit? Yeah? So if I give you a loan $1,000 and you pay it to me for over a year, so what did I benefit? I lost actually. I did not benefit. But if I give you $1,000 and you return it back to me $1,700, of course. Of course. Then my money keeps increasing. Now imagine I give you 1,000, I give him 10, I give him 5, I give him 0, and I'm sitting here, mashallah, in my luxury home, and the money keeps coming to me. And thank you guys for, you know, being not sane in your head, that you buy things and my money is increasing and you are getting choked more and more and more and more and more in debt. So that's what it is. Then comes another devil who purchased the debt.
Yeah.
Like 70 cents to $1. Then another devil, 20 cents to $1. You know, then they keep going on and on and on and on and on and on. And people live and die in debt. The biggest devil of all, who comes to somebody who retired, paid for the house all their life, and they give them reverse mortgage.
Yeah.
So they paid all their life for the house. Now they're going to lose it before they die. You see how the system is? System of abuse and manipulation of people's sanity. And that's why Islam said riba is haram. Don't look to the small benefit. Look to the destruction that it happens to the moral of the people. You understand now? So when we say that do not deal with interest, what is the problem? It is the same thing. Then someone justifies it, oh, the bank is cheaper, Islamic company is this. Hey, man, we know that. This is not something new. You go buy halal meat is more expensive. We know that. We all know that. We all know that to stay different, you're going to spend more. You know, the people pay more for fashion because they want to make a statement, right? Yes? So you do not want to buy a purse from Walmart, but you go buy it from Macy's or whatever. Why? Why you want to pay more? while there is another person that can do the job and better sometimes? Why? Tell me why. Why you do not want to do the same sacrifice for something halal? I always use this argument to people, right? You can buy like a Toyota. Why you are driving a Lexus? Oh, Sheikh, because it's nice and luxury and comfortable. So you are willing to pay more, but you are not willing to pay more to be safe, in the safe side, and feel in the heart, feel that you are, alhamdulillah, at least I know that some Muslim slaughtered this. You see what I'm saying? So sometimes people, like, they want to take the haram route because it's cheaper. Of course haram is cheaper. Zina is cheaper than marriage. Yes or no? What does that mean? Oh Sheikh, marriage is going to cost me a lot. So can I do this thing? Of course you can't. I'm sorry, but sometimes you're laughing at things, but this is the sense, common sense. Of course haram is cheap. Of course haram is available. Of course haram is accessible. Of course, Rasulullah said that. The hellfire is surrounded by lusts and desires. Jannah is surrounded by hardship. We know that. This is not something new. That's why when somebody comes and says, Sheikh, halal meat, the pound is for $4. I can buy it for $1. I said, I know that. You can buy pork cheaper. So are you going to do it? Oh, no, I'm not talking about pork. I'm talking about meat. I said, I understand. But do you have the money to purchase the halal? Yes. So what is your problem? Because it is just expensive, right? But you are willing to buy a more expensive car, even a lesser one can do. Even you can buy a shirt, like instead of, because you wanted the brand. You want people to know that, oh, this is not purchased except from the mall. Yeah, because you want people to say you are buying what people will say. You are not buying the item. Well, that's what I'm trying to say. These surahs teach us concepts of fitrah. We are not robots. We are not animals. We are human beings. You want to please Allah Azza wa Jal subhanahu wa ta'ala. Imam Muhammad ibn al-Hasan al-Shaybani, student of Imam Abu Hanif. He's a senior student of Imam Abu Hanif. They said, why you do not write a book of aqidah for people? Huh? He said, I wrote for them book of business transaction. اكتب للناس كتابا في العقيدة قال كتبت لهم كتابا في البيوع. What does he mean? He means if their aqidah is strong, their buyuع will be right. And if somebody take care of their business transactions and they are sincere, their aqidah is strong. Because why would you do it? Why would you not make a bigger profit when you can? What would stop you from doing that? Fear of Allah, and you don't want to abuse people's need. You see? So I know that you need this item dearly. You are in dire need for it. And I said, here you go. How much? I said, 20. I said, wow, but everybody's saying 50. I said, yeah, but it's 20. And I am making profit, by the way. You see, what I can make from you, I can make 30, 40, and I'm still good. You're going to thank me. Because everybody's selling it for 50, right? If I'm giving to you any less, you are happy, correct? But I am giving to you based on my fear of. So aqidah strong or not? If someone took something and promised to pay, but they are not able, and you say to them, inshallah, I'll give you another month's sabr. That month I am losing. Because money is not back, right? I am losing. I'm not charging you interest. I'm not saying 1 month, that means 0.2. Right? Or becomes 3 now. Take your time, man. You want a year? Ya Allah, 10%. But that's the whole idea. So what is haram in this? Everybody said, yeah, it's fair, Sheikh, fair. He's late, and the other one should not lose, so he's giving them extra. But that's what you see, because you are thinking money only. You are not thinking fear of Allah. You are not thinking how this person, if you tell him, if you give the person the choice to pay interest or no interest, which one is going to choose?
No interest.
See? So he's actually doing it against his will, because he feels that he is pressured because of the need. Now imagine if you give him a break. Most of the people, I'm not saying all, will appreciate that and they will take care next time not to fall in the same trap. All right? Because they'll become shy from you. Like if you're giving them a chance and then they end up paying, next time they are not going to come again and say in good faith, except they have the cash. It's like somebody give me a loan. I need a loan. Here is $1,000. And you took your time to pay them the $1,000. Are you going to go back again and take another loan from them? Of course not. Because you feel shy now, embarrassed, right? You don't want to take another loan from them because you become like now abusing it, right? So you're going to go work hard and so on. The system itself is put in such a way like that. So Allah Azza wa Jal, after He explained to us all this zabiha and all of that, He told us subhanahu wa ta'ala, they ask you, O Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The word yas'alunak is mentioned in the Quran in many places. Yas'alunak means they ask you. Yas'al means he asks. Yas'alu means they are asking. Yas'alunaka, yani you are. They are asking you. So that's a sentence. Yas'alunaka, verb, subject and object. Okay, yas'al is the verb. Yas'alu, they, that is the subject. Yas'alunaka, kaf is the, yas'aluna, yani they are asking. Yas'alunaka, they are asking you. Means Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So this comes in Surah Al-Baqarah many times. يسألونك عن اليتامى, they're asking you about the orphans. يسألونك عن المحيض, they're asking you about the women in their period. يسألونك عن الخمر والميسر, they are asking you about the drinking and the gambling. يسألونك عن الشهر الحرام, they're asking you about the sacred months. So the word يسألونك عن الأهلة, they're asking you about the moon. Then Allah Azza wa Jalla said قل. يسألونك, then قل, means say. يسألونك ماذا أحل لهم, يعني after all this haram thing, what is halal for us? What is halal for us? What is halal? If this is haram, right? What is halal? ماذا أحل لهم, what is halal for them? قل, say, أحل لكم الطيبات, يعني all pure things. What is all pure things? طبعا the rule in the matters of dealings, consumption, clothing, like dealings, يعني you're gonna buy, sell, get married, relationship between people, hiring this, all this, the rule in itself, the default is everything is halal except what Allah forbid. So all food is halal except what Allah forbid. So the exception is haram. Right? يعني haram is the counted thing. So if you need to know what to eat, you need to know what not to eat. What are the prohibited things? The rest is halal. Make sense? Yeah. طيب. In ibadah or worship, it is the opposite. Everything is prohibited except what you are asked. So for salah, you cannot talk except reciting the things. You cannot move except to the moves in the salah. You cannot use your eyes left or right except to the place that you are at. You understand? So ibadah is like that. In Ramadan, you cannot eat anything except at the Maghrib time. You cannot drink anything except. So the exception here is what you are allowed to do, because it is what? Ibadah. So ibadah, you need to know what you're supposed to do, and the rest is prohibited. For ibadah, right? So in ibadah, I said, how should I do Hajj? You get the line, and anything outside of that is a problem. Okay? In the way of life and the dealing and food and everything is the other way around. You can do everything except 1, 2, 3. So you need to do need to know 1, 2, 3 before. I cannot drink anything intoxicating. I cannot drink anything fermented. I cannot do anything. So you're not going to say, how about orange juice? How about apple juice? How about this juice? How about the water? How about you are not going to end, because there are thousands and thousands of items. But any item that ferments and now it is going to affect your mind, it becomes haram. So now I need to know that rule. This is a rule for me. So if I have like some fruit and I left it until it became rotten or changed, I cannot eat that. Some people will eat rotten stuff. I have a juice and I left it. Now I come after 1 day or 2 days, I find the grape juice changing now. It has a smell and it has a foam above it. Now it is becoming intoxicating. So I cannot drink that. You see? So you need to know what you do not do when it comes to food consumption and drinking and clothing and all that. What you don't need. That's why when we say hijab, some people take it from the opposite end. The opposite end is that hijab should be like that. That is wrong. You have to say hijab should be what? And when you know that what, you can apply every model on it. You see? Otherwise, you said, oh, what about this? What about this? And what about this? We're not going to end now. And everybody going to dress something and what about this? What about this? What about this? That means a sheikh can have a full-time job to check women's hijab. صحيح? Everybody will come like that.
Yeah.
Because, you know, especially women, they always look for innovation in the dress. Always they want to innovate new things. So you know the rule. It's up to you now. You have your discretion to apply it. And there is always that fine line, you know, between haram and halal. You know that. And everybody knows the feeling is there, you know. You are a believer, the feeling is there. That now you are stepping out of the realm. You don't need anybody to tell you, by the way. It is there. You just need to act upon it. When you have that gut feeling now as like, I am not sure I'm transgressing or not. No, you are transgressing. Come back. Just whenever you have that feeling, just go back to where you were. Trust me. That's why Abdullah ibn Mas'ud, he said, الإثم ما حاك في صدرك. والرسول صلى الله عليه وسلم said, البر حسن الخلق. Bir, virtue is being nice in the way you do the other. والإثم, sin, is what causes this discomfort in your chest and you don't want people to know. So there is some discomfort. You are not comfortable with the action. You trust yourself, trust your heart at that moment. And even if it is not wrong, but it makes you feel uncomfortable, go back to where you are comfortable, safer for your deen. You see? Because there is always, I said, this fine line lead you to another one, and another one, another one. And before you know it, you find that you are way out. Because, you know, one step at a time, slowly. Over 10 years, you find people changing completely. They don't even notice it. They don't even notice it. You go back to your home, after 1 year, you find lots of things changed. People there are not observing that. You are observing it. Because you did not see the gradual, slow change. You saw the change. But they are going through it, they are not noticing. What are you talking about? We are who we are. No, we're not. I remember this, I remember that. What? Like that. So that's exactly when you're dealing with Allah Azza wa Jal. Shaitan takes you 1 inch, 1 millimeter at a time. Okay. So, tayyibat are the general things. So when we say about something, you learn the guidelines. All hijab should be long, not short, should be loose, not tight, should be thick, not transparent, should not be inviting colors, and it should be not imitation for the kuffar. Khalas. Is it the Malaysian wave dress? Is the Pakistani? Is the Arab abaya? Kullu tamam. Kullu okay. Everything is fine. Yani. You do not have to find that this is the way. Yani, you can do the Baju Quran, what they call Baju Quran? Baju Quran? Very thick or nice wide pants, and you have a long loose shirt all the way under your knees, and that's an Islamic dress. Wear hijab properly, yes, it's good. Now if you make a abaya, see now people think abaya is better, right? But what if you make the abaya, the waist is like this, and the chest is like that, and then I don't know what they're talking about, the fashions, and then the hijab is worse. So my point here is, abaya is not the Islamic dress in itself. The other one is not the Islamic dress in itself. This is not bad inherently, and this is not good inherently. You get it? So you can make it whatever you want. Make sense? So that's why you follow the rule of decency. Okay, so that's why we make the deen hard for ourselves without even realizing it. Until people say, if you do not wear a black abaya with cover, niqab, this, you are not a good Muslim. Who said that? Who came up with that rule?
Some people.
Yeah, so that's why, you know, not right. So anyways, الطيبات يعني pure things. For plural of طيب. Opposite of طيب, خبيث. Opposite of طيب is what? خبيث. طيبات, opposite of it is خبائث. ويحل لهم الطيبات ويحرم عليهم الخبائث ويضع عنهم إصرهم والأغلال التي كانت عليهم. يعني that's another آية, another surah. وما علمتم من الجوارح مكلبين. Now we're going to talk about the rules of hunting. So يعني all these haram things mentioned in the ayah before, and Allah Azza wa Jalla is saying, tell them when they ask you what is halal for them, tell all the pure things halal, and whatever you taught from jawarih. Jawarih, jurh means wound. The jurh means wound. The word jawarih are the things that causes wounds, right? That's why we call our limbs jawarih also. اليد جارحة. اليد جارحة because you can injure someone. والعين جارحة also. العين جارحة also because you can expose someone's secret with your eye. You spy on them. تجرح. You know, it's like wounding somebody spiritually or making hasad. فجوارح means your limbs. It's called jawarih also. Jawarih also the animals of prey. The animals of prey, whether with the fang or with the claw. Claw or the fang. Claw mostly in the birds, right? Or the fang. So any animal that with the fang, من السباع, or with the claw from like the birds or so, that and it eats meat. يعني it attacks its prey, right? With the fangs or with the claw, hits with the claw, that becomes haram to eat. We are not supposed to eat it, but we can teach it to hunt, right? So that's why Rasul said, وَمَا عَلَّمْتُم مِّنَ الْجَوَارِحِ وَمَا عَلَّمْتُم مِّنَ الْجَوَارِحِ. يعني what you taught those. مكلبين يعني the word تكليب, تكليب from كلب. كلب means dog, right? And the first animal to be taught was the dog. Okay? That's why teaching any wild animal of prey is called تكليب. Even your is not a dog يعني. You understand? So the act was for the dog, right? كلب. كلب means dog. تكليب means make the dog trained. Trained dog. Right? مكلب is the person who teaches the dog. مكلب is the dog that it is trained. Alright? So now, what if you train a bird? Still you say مكلب. مكلب, okay? Why? Because the original verb is used now for anything. It doesn't mean that only training a dog, but the training itself became the word is used. You get it now? مكلبين means what? So this is why is it مكلبين. Why is it only dogs? لا, any animal that it is trained like a dog used to be trained.
For hunting.
For hunting, yes. وما علمتم من الجوارح مكلبين. يعني what you taught them to teach them. طبعا this is a big deal to teach. Allah Azza wa Jal saying here ومعلمتم الجوارح مكلبين فكلوا مما أمسكنا عليكم. يعني whatever they hold for you, you eat from it. Halal. I told you before last time, you slaughter or you make nahr for the camel or you hit or shoot an animal, right? What if you send the dog and the animal was alive and it killed it to bring it to you? It's halal if you say Bismillah.
To the dog.
Yeah.
Before you
That's why Allah said فَكُلُوا مَا أَمْسَكْنَا عَلَيْكُمْ وَاذْكُرُوا اسْمَ اللَّهِ عَلَيْهِ. يعني you have to say the name of Allah. So before the dog, when they are holding the dog in the leash, before they unleash, you said Bismillah, Allahu Akbar, and you release.
But it should be the
Trained. It has to be trained.
not just trained. If he killed the animal.
That's fine. That's fine. Sometimes the bird, you sell the eagle, right? And the bird in the sky, you did not shoot, right? So it's going to go and attack it like it attacks it for itself. The only difference is going to bring it to you. So when it held it, maybe the bird is fighting or something like that and it breaks the neck or it holds it and by the time it came it is dead. You still eat because you already said the name of Allah on it. Yeah.
When you say it's being trained, what difference does it make?
Trained is like it does not eat from it while it's hungry. So that's how you know. That's why they send the hound or the thing while they are hungry, not when they are full.
Dogs are not fed.
They are not fed.
Oh, if
Yes, they are hungry and they still bring it to you. That means they are trained. All right? Because, you know, animal will kill when it is hungry to eat. But now it is killing while it is hungry, but it's not for self. It's for you. And they make lots and lots of training. Yani there are, mashallah, methods, there are innovations, there are things. Like they train the police dogs.
Yeah.
They train them a lot with the words, with the moves, how they attack, how they bring a person down. It takes months of training. And it takes lots of money to train. That's why those hounds and the trained, they are thousands of dollars, tens of thousands of dollars worth. It's not like a cheap thing, you know. So they used to train al-kalb. They used to train al-fahd. Some people, they will train a cheetah, or they will train a tiger. People would train that. And they will train al-iqab, wal-saqr, wal-bazi, wal-shaheen. All of these are eagles and hawks and different falcons and all of these things. They will train them so they can bring the game for you. Because sometimes the things are in very far heights that only a falcon will get. Your gun is not going to get it. Your arrow is not going to get it. And then you send that thing. And that thing is going in different directions, right? Behind the bird. It's not like you are shooting, because you're shooting, and if the bird is faster, you're not gonna get. Like shotgun, when you shoot ducks, you don't do at the duck. You see and you do before it, so where it is going. By the time it reaches the hit. So if you are not calculating right, it's not gonna hit. But when you send the falcon is gonna get it no matter where it's gonna go.
Yeah.
It's gonna stay on it. And the hound is the same thing. It will go behind the thing, you know.
That's the other hand, I have a question, because we get told that it's prohibited to eat anything has inside it blood. So when they shoot the animal, the blood stay inside. Do we have to slaughter it?
لا. We talked about الدم المسفوح, the blood which is flowing. That is the blood that you are not supposed to eat. But the blood which is congealed in the thing, after, you know, it's slaughtered or hunted or this, is okay. Even when you hit the deer, the whole blood does not come out from it. يعني. It only bleed a little bit. Not all the blood. يعني most of the blood comes when you got it. When you open it, the blood comes, and some of the blood clotting there. Some of the blood is within the meat or the bone. That's okay. Yeah, because the way it's slaughtered, it's allowed that way. But when you cut it, zabiha, the blood has to come all out. فهمتيني؟ Yeah, you cannot. وما علمتم من الجوارح مكلبين تعلمونهن. You teaching those animals. مما علمكم الله. يعني Allah is the one who taught you how to train these animals. Otherwise, these animals are wild. But Allah give the knowledge to people to teach them. مما علمكم الله فكلوا مما أمسكنا عليكم, يعني eat from what they caught for you. واذكروا اسم الله عليه, يعني the name of Allah. واتقوا الله إن الله سريع الحساب. Allah Azza wa Jal is punishment is swift. Why this end of the ayah here? إن الله سريع الحساب, يعني be careful if you eat something haram or transgress. Allah Azza wa Jal's punishment is swift. يعني it can punish here before the hereafter. In the dunya, يعني سريع الحساب. So a person came to Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, asked him about the hunting of the dogs hunt. For Rasul sallallahu alayhi wasallam did not answer him until this ayah was revealed. Right? And another person came to Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, also asked him, they say, Ya Rasulullah, we hunt with dogs and we hunt with falcons. So he says, and what? So they told him that the dogs of such and such tribe, they hunt البقر يعني wild cows, والحمير zebras, والظباء deers. The dogs are trained to bring down all of this. وقد حرم الله الميتة. يعني we know from the Quran that Allah عز وجل made ميتة حرام. Comes to your question يعني. فماذا يحل لنا منها? What do we eat? That ayah came down that you can eat from it. So they ask about that. So Rasul sallallahu alayhi wasallam also told us, Abdullah ibn Abbas said, نهى رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم عن أكل كل ذي ناب من السباع وكل ذي مخلب من الطير. يعني every animal that has fangs and every bird that has claws. Right? We are not supposed to eat that. And Imam Abu Hanifa said sab'a, animal of prey, is anything carnivorous that eats meat, even if it does not have fangs. يعني. Imam Shafi'i said anything that attacks men and animals. So they defined sab'a, يعني, the animal of prey. Based on that, all the things that happen, all the things that underwater, even it has fangs, even it has claws, still halal to eat.
That I want to ask because
Meat, fish eat other fish, so it doesn't make it haram for you. Crab and shrimp and all that, very delicious, by the way.
no, I have a question because I read just about the Jew 2 days ago that they don't eat
Shellfish.
shellfish and
No, Muslims. الأحناف they don't eat
why?
shellfish because they said it eats dirty stuff. جلالة يعني.
They consider it like a
like no, not خنزير. هو the Jews, it's forbidden for them.
Yeah,
for a reason. But Shia don't eat it. That's a well-known fact. The Hanafis, they don't eat it.
shellfish.
Fish. Shrimp و crawfish و crab و lobster و all delicious stuff. I know. So they they don't eat that.
Jews don't eat it.
No.
Even a sect of Muslims don't eat it as well. They say that this is a bottom feeder. They don't eat tilapia. They don't eat catfish. Yeah, it's not what you think. Yani. They don't eat shark. They do not eat like whale. They will not eat any animal that it is. Sharks don't lay eggs. You know, they don't lay eggs. So they saying this is a mammal. We're not gonna eat it. All right. So they don't eat it because of that. So they apply the rules of the land to the animals of the sea. But the majority of the scholars said no. The sea has its own rule. You can eat the animal when it is dead. You fish and the fish by the time you get it is dead. So you are not going to say it is maita. If you catch it while it's alive, you do not slaughter it. So the rules do not apply in many aspects, right? So anyways, may Allah Azza wa Jal, they are not making something big, huge. People don't want to eat things, khalas, that's okay. They make it hard for themselves, fine. Don't listen, don't follow them. I understand, like someone does not want to eat shellfish because they have allergy, or someone does not want to eat fish because they don't like it. Like some people, they don't like to eat shrimp. It's not like they say it's haram or makruh, but they don't have the appetite to eat this. It looks like roaches. Some people told me one time, I'm not going to eat shrimp, man, it looks like roaches. It's ugly, it's bad. The crawfish, like that. And it has like this stuff. Okay. So, but to make it haram for others, or to say that others are not good Muslims because they don't, no, that's the limit now. But people can do whatever they want, they don't want to eat it, okay. طيب. Now I understand that the sea is different rule. Either it is eating meat or not eating meat. Under the sea is different. But above the sea and in the land, if anything eats meat, we don't eat it. Right? Carnivorous, exactly. Now, we can hunt things wild, but as long as it is herbivorous, like it is not carnivorous. Like you eat a zebra, you eat deer, you eat these things that eat grass, that eat, it's vegetarian yani. But anything that eats other animals, you do not hunt it. You do not eat it.
This include birds too, right?
Huh?
Birds that eat
The birds, same thing. We said the birds of the claw. Yani the buzzards and the falcons and all that, you don't eat it because it will eat other animals. It will eat animals. Now, if you have a bird like pigeon or chicken or something like that, that normally does not eat, but it started eating that, then before you slaughter it, you keep it 3 days to eat clean food. And then you slaughter it after that. Detox. You detox. Because sometimes the chicken, they do eat worms and eat like dirty stuff. They might eat the guts of another animal, whatever it is, right? So you have to make sure that it is cleansed. And that's why they were saying about some of the catfish and all that. They said they're eating it, they're feeding it like dead fish, they're feeding it other things, they're feeding this, they're feeding that. But, again, the food of the sea or under the water is different from other food.
So, in this case, those new trend in the world about the bugs and all the stuff, to eating bugs and all the stuff, it's not...
No, the bugs is different. Bugs is not flesh. Like bug, different. It doesn't have ruh, it doesn't have ruh. It has a blood circulation. Sometimes bugs don't have even blood in there. So it's not the same rule like the other things. Yeah. طبعا some scholars said that you do not eat the frog, you do not eat the crocodile, you do not eat these things للاستخباث يعني because it's dirty, it's not good and all of that. But if it lives under the water, as we mentioned before, طبعا there are difference in that. فكلوا مما أمسكنا عليكم واذكروا اسم الله عليه. طيب, now we have to understand that it is trained, and the one who trained it is good, and we test it يعني by following the orders. It comes back when it is told. It runs only when it's told. يعني it can see an animal, but it will not automatically run behind it. You have to tell it go. See, and then when it's going to come back, it will come back, right? And so on. And it does not eat from it, as we said. يعني they say that what is the sign of a dog being trained? They said, it will only go when the owner tells it to go, and it will come back directly when it tells it to come back, right? Because normally the dog will take something and run away. So if you tell it to come back, it will come back. That means it's trained. And they said they have to do 3 times. After 3 times, then it's trained. Now, about the bird, it says like the only sign is like when you call it back, it comes to you. And of course, they keep it with a string, right? And they keep the string longer and longer and longer. And then they call it. And when it comes back, well, a string in there, until they trust it, so there is no string. So, and there are, as I said, there are many ways, techniques of training the things, right? So it runs until it's completely free, and when it says come back, or whistle for it, or give it a sign, then it comes back.
Comes back and has to be hungry.
Yeah. But the bird, you don't know how it's hungry or not hungry, but the animal is. The bird, because bird want to fly away from you. So if it comes back to you, means it's trained. It doesn't have to be hungry or not hungry. And once it listens to you coming back, that means now it's coming back to you.
He's yours.
So it's yours now. Yeah, it will not run away from you. It will hear you or hear the whistle or the sound, it will come back to you. That's it. But the dog, it want to take something and eat it away and then come back to you. So it will come back to you because it comes back to you for some other things, for company, for this and that. So sometimes the dog, you are the owner, but you are not giving it food, so it will go eat and come back to you for care, for taking care. Yeah. So the reason, the way to know is that it comes back to you while it is hungry. That's why we say the animal had to be on, but the bird is different. The bird, if it flies away from you, it is in the sky already, خلاص. So if it comes back to you, means there is a reason now. Now. So what if the animal, even is trained and all that, and made a mistake? It's an animal at the end of the day, and it ate part of the
catch.
Then you cannot eat it. So if it put its fangs in it or its claw in it, خلاص. يعني it snatched something and ate it, then you cannot eat from it. There is a hadith of Rasulullah صلى الله عليه وسلم when Adi ibn Hatim asked him, hunter يعني صحابي, he said that إذا أرسلت كلابك المعلمة وذكرت اسم الله فكل مما أمسكنا عليك. If you send your dog after you say the name of Allah, then eat from whatever they bring. إلا أن يأكل الكلب فلا تأكل. Except if the dog eats from it, don't eat. فإني أخاف أن يكون إنما أمسك على نفسه. I'm afraid that it hunted it for itself. Because it's an animal, right? You send it, it thought that you are sending it to eat. So now the dog is hunting for itself. So basically, the dog is trained, he's like a tool. It's like a gun. It is like the arrow. Okay. طيب, there's another hadith. If the dog brings it alive, then you should slaughter it. You have to slaughter it. إذا أرسلت كلبك المعلم فاذكر اسم الله عليه. Mention the name of Allah and send it. فإن أمسك عليك, if it holds, eat. فأدركته حيا فاذبحه. If it's still alive and you are able to slaughter, slaughter it. وإن أدركته قد قتل, يعني if it is killed, ولم يأكل منه, and he did not eat from it, then you eat from it. فإن أخذ الكلب ذكاه, يعني the dog catching the animal and killing it, it's like slaughtering it. واتقوا الله, يعني be careful of transgressing the limits of Allah Azza wa Jal. See, even in the food and everything, Allah put the taqwa. So you have to make sure that your food is clear. You follow the order. Following the order of Allah, you see, the matter is the matter of food consumption and everything. It does not make a person kafir. Yani even if a person eat pork out of disobedience, is a major sin. Does not make him a kafir. Yani. Unless he feels the pork is halal. You see, now becomes a kafir. You understand? Until he said the pork is okay, you guys are retarded, whatever. The pork is halal. Now becomes a kafir. Right? Approach. This is the approach, it's not the act. Now, طب why Allah Azza wa Jalla says Allah سريع الحساب? يعني if you don't follow the orders of Allah, Allah has swift punishment. Surah Al-An'am, Allah Azza wa Jalla says if you obey the kuffar in the matters of slaughtering, you become mushrikeen. وإن أطعتموهم إنكم لمشركون. It will come up for us for Surah Al-An'am later. يعني. The people of Quraysh, يعني Allah Azza wa Jalla is saying to the believers, you eat from what the name of Allah is mentioned. If you obey the kuffar of Mecca, you become mushrikeen. As I said, if somebody eat maita, he becomes a mushrik يعني? No. If somebody eat khanzir, he's not mushrik. But why Allah Azza wa Jalla said mushrik? And here Allah said, fear Allah because Allah's punishment is swift. يعني if you disobey in the matters of food, it does not make you kafir يعني, or azab of Allah. So why Allah mentioning that? Because the matter is the obedience of Allah. It's not about the food itself. As I said, if somebody disobeys Allah and they feel that they're disobeying Allah, Allah may forgive them. But if they feel they are not disobeying Allah and they don't care about the order of Allah, that is a problem. Right? So now the people of Quraysh were saying that to the believers, the Muslims, you are saying that you only eat from what you slaughter in the name of Allah. Yes? They said yes. And we are not supposed to eat from the animals that died on its own. Yes? They said yes. I said okay. Who killed the animal that died on its own? The kuffar asking the Muslimin. Said Allah killed it. Said okay, you are not going to eat from something that Allah himself killed, and you eat from something that your hand slaughters. See the shubha? See the discussion, the argument? Shaitan يعني who killed it? Allah. Allah is the one who slaughtered it with his own knife. They used that. Allah is slaughtered. ذبحها الله بسكينه. Allah is the one who slaughtered it with his knife. It will not die without Allah's permission. And you are not going to eat only from what your hand is. For some of the Muslims started feeling فالله revealed the ayah. طبعا the issue here is yes, Allah is the one who killed it, but Allah is the one who told us not to eat it. يعني who told us not to eat this and eat that? It's the same Allah, right? يعني the argument has no base, but from the first shock you feel like, yeah, it makes sense, right? But that's why you don't rush, because argument does not matter how strong it sounds. If it is not based on the obedience of Allah, it is weak. It's just you cannot find the weakness. That's the problem. That's why I tell everybody, if somebody throws something at you, don't say, oh yeah, you're right. Don't say that. Okay? Always say that Allah is right. Sadaq Allah wa sadaqa Rasulullah. My deen is perfect. I just don't know it. Very simple, right? Then you go and know. And you may spend your life trying to know. But you have no doubt that the rule of Allah is right. Make sense? Yes. And that's the difference between a strong believer who believes in total and the believer who wants piece by piece. Like everything you have to convince me. But tomorrow you come with another shubha, convince me. What kind of iman is this?
My opinion.
لا, هو iman has, you have to believe in general first. There is specifics. You are not going to spend all your life listening to specifics. Maybe someone will not meet that situation all their life, will not see that situation. يعني how many of us you ate from what a dog hunted يعني? I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Like يعني you would not know except if you study it, or it happens to you. يعني either or. Either you're studying it or it actually happens to you. There's the only two way to find. But if you are not studying it and it did not happen to you, your belief is intact. Now, if you hang your belief on a situation that you cannot figure out, that's a problem. And that's what many people do, unfortunately. Their iman is so good as long as it's not challenged. The minute somebody challenges, then they shake. وَمِنَ النَّاسِ مَنْ يَعْبُدُ اللَّهَ عَلَى حَرْفٍ, on an edge. فإن أصابه خير اطمأن به. As long as good happening, good. وإن أصابته فتنة انقلب على عقبيه خسر الدنيا والآخرة. They lose the dunya and akhirah both.
ربي أكرمنا ربي
أيوة. So be careful with that knowledge. طبعا we want to stop here, but I give you a synopsis of the next ayah. That's why Allah said سريع الحساب, right? So Allah Azza wa Jal said, if you obey the mushrikeen in their argument, you become mushrik like them. It's not about the food now. It's about if, their argument makes sense. Yeah, right. Why Allah makes it hard like that? That's a problem now. Like some people who do this. يعني some of the teenage girls said, why we cannot have friend guys as friend? They're not saying boyfriend. No, they're saying why cannot have? Why? I said, why you won't have one? Yes, it's okay. Man like a woman. I said, no, you know that in the depth of your heart that man is not like a woman. So why you want to have a guy friend? Because it's prohibited. What would you do? Like, what do you do with your girlfriend? Oh, we talk secrets. I said, are you going to share that with a man? Right? He said, no. I said, okay. What else when you have fun? Like I kind of let my hair down and all of that. I said, I don't want to do that in front of a man. I said, no. Okay, you guys like when you have happy, and you hug and kiss and all that. You're going to do that with a man? No, I said, then they are different. Right? So fitra, right? And Allah make all these rules for a reason. When you're going to get married, you're going to get married to a woman or a man. Unless you are like, but okay, a man. So that means Allah Azza wa Jal made the man and the woman fulfill a certain purpose through a certain way. So that's why many things before that become prohibited. You have to talk nice, like you have to talk step by step. You're going to say it's just haram, like that. They will do it behind your back, khalas. But you have to make sense out of your arguments, all right? So that's the idea. That is the whole thing. Like people want they do not know why it is prohibited. What's the problem? And I say, even if you have guy friends and you are going to keep your distance, still you cannot be alone. It is not because you are going to do something wrong, because the rule is on everybody. You cannot make individual exceptions of the rule. Even if we say all the Muslims in America, they are very good, and the boys and the girls, they're not going to do anything wrong. You cannot make the rule for everybody in the world. You cannot make the rule for 100 years to come. So that's why Allah is the one khaliq of everybody. He's the one who makes the rule. For everyone, everywhere, at all times. And you are part of it. So even if you feel that I'm not that one that this rule is made for, but you are a human being, and this rule made of a human being, you abide by it. So somebody comes next and says, I drink a bottle of wine and it does not make me drunk. Can I drink it? If you say okay, then someone and says, I drink 2 bottles of wine, it doesn't make me drunk. It's all right. I drink half bottle. I can drink 1 sip and it doesn't make me drunk. Then you know what we do now? You give it to everybody and say, you drink as long as you don't get drunk. How they will know that? When you're drunk, you're drunk. Yeah, you will keep drinking until you're drunk. Yes? So how do you know when you stop? You have to abide by the hikmah of Allah. That's the point I'm trying to make. You abide by the hikmah of Allah, you win. You argue everything and you want everything to make sense to you according to your tiny human logic, you lose. If it comes and make you understand, say Alhamdulillah. But if you could not understand, understand one thing. Allah is Al-Hakim, Al-Alim, Al-Latif, Al-Khabir, Al-Sami' Al-Basir. Allah Azza wa Jal. سمعنا وأطعنا غفرانك ربنا وإليك المصير. May Allah Azza wa Jal reward you all for your patience and listening. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin.